Welcome to Stoked, the podcast that helps adventure elopement photographers hit six figures and beyond in their businesses without hustling on social media. I'm your host, Megan McPhail, a former burnt-out emergency veterinarian that quit my hard-earned career to become an elopement photographer. Now I'm living a life I absolutely love, full of travel, adventure, and financial abundance, and I am hell-bent on helping you do the same. Are you ready to start booking out your calendar with dream couples in breathtaking locations and feeling genuinely stoked about your elopement photography business, life, and bank account? Then let's dive into this week's episode. Hey, it's your host, Megan McPhail, and I have a really special episode for you guys today. I have elopement and wedding content creator Joy Sheehan on the podcast. She is based in the Smoky Mountains in East Tennessee, and she actually won our giveaway during Elopement Con, which was a guest spot on the Stoked podcast. So I'm super excited to have her here. We're going to talk all things content creation because she's not a photographer, and I'm really excited to talk about content creation today and pick her brain, have her pick my brain, and this is going to be a good one. Welcome to the podcast, Joy.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
I'm so stoked. This is such a great topic to talk about. I'm just so excited to have you here. So first, let's talk about how did you get into content creation? Because I know it was kind of like a very roundabout story.
Yes. So I first started, my degree is actually in wildlife biology. And after college, I did many seasons as a biologist, and I've always had a camera in my hand. So I first started out by taking wildlife portraits, doing travel and landscape photography, and then I got a camcorder. And it was all uphill from there. I started working seasonally on cruise ships at one point. As soon as I got an iPhone, I started filming those work trips, those trips on cruise ships and my travel destinations. I started a travel blog. I only went to local small businesses. I really wanted to highlight local and shopping small and visiting local places when you're traveling. So I started the travel blog, and then TikTok came around and COVID happened. And I went full speed into just creating. I tried YouTube for a little while. It wound up being so much work and took so long. So I really enjoyed that instant gratification, quick film it, post it, put it up, and the funny trends and things going on TikTok. So yeah, that's how I got started with that, just making small business reels and trying out different transitions and whatnot.
Yeah, and then you got hooked up with an elopement photographer near you in Tennessee.
I did. Yes, so my boyfriend and I, he is a park ranger. We moved from Northern California to here in East Tennessee for his job. He got a permanent position in Great Smoky Mountains National Park. So a couple of years ago, we moved here. It did allow me to almost completely restart my own business. At the time, I was doing content creation and social media for a doggy daycare in Northern California while doing content for small businesses. I still work for them. Actually, I do remote content for the business. I have someone there that I've trained to send me photos and videos, and I create reels from that video footage. I'm going back very soon on a work trip. I've been lucky enough to get to go back to California and do content for small business clients that I still have there, including that dog daycare. But yeah, other than them, I basically had to completely start over here in a new state, in a new town. And I found a friend that also worked for the national park, and his girlfriend, now wife, is also a photographer. And she also came from a different state. So her and I really connected with the whole process of starting over your business and rebuilding your community and networking with new people and starting from scratch, basically. So her and I, she had actually introduced me to a few different wedding and elopement photographers in the area that shoot primarily in Smoky Mountains National Park. And one of them decided she really liked my content that I was posting for small businesses at the time. And she asked if I would be willing to join her on some of her sessions, on some of her elopements, and take some behind the scenes content for her and turn that into reels so that she could market her photography business for her elopement couples. And I had a blast. It meant more time in the park, more time exploring this new state, getting to work alongside elopement photographers. I love hearing everybody's stories of how they met and just the things that they like to do together as couples. A lot of people that are elope are, I find they also are obsessed with the outdoors like I am and with traveling like I am, with wildlife and protecting the environment. So a lot of these elopement couples have a lot in common with myself as well.
Yeah.
So it's just been a blast. And then from there, I decided, well, why don't I start to offer this as a service? Wedding content creation is so new to the industry. It's such a new service being offered to couples, especially elopement content creation. You don't really see that happening that often. However, a lot of people are doing not only wedding content creation now, but also travel transitions and travel reels and travel vlogs and whatnot. And I think combining the two is amazing and
Yeah.
has been so fun.
Yeah, it sounds like elopements are just right up your alley as far as your interests and your values and stuff like that. Like, it just makes sense that you would be lit up by doing content creation for elopements and elopement photographers because you can do it for the couples and you can get some behind the scenes for the photographers, which is so important for us to have that kind of stuff. So, what do you include in your content creation packages? Can you explain to the folks out there who maybe this is like the first time they're hearing about content creation on elopement days?
Yeah, definitely. The biggest pro for most couples is being able to relive their day within 24 to 48 hours. You get your content back in every single package I offer. That is the norm is getting that content instant gratification within 24 to 48-hour delivery time. My packages are based on the hours of coverage similar to an elopement photographer. Every single package I offer not only includes all of the hundreds, sometimes thousands, depending on how long I'm with you for the day, mostly video content. If I'm alongside a photographer, I do leave most of the photography to them, of course. Sometimes I'll grab some quick photos because it's always nice to have that quick photo. Again, instant gratification. But it is mostly video content that I provide. Yeah, so everything comes with all of the video footage along with a highlight reel or video. You don't need social media to have a content creator. A lot of my couples actually just want that highlight video just
Mhm.
to look back on and share with friends and family, but you could also post it to your social media as well. So the highlight reel, highlight video is basically just all of your elopements best moments, the best footage of the day with music overlaid on top, text over top. I also provide a non-text but still with music option for every highlight video. And then we can start adding on trends, TikTok trends, the fun lip syncing or transitions. I guide and coach you through how to do those if you're kind of feeling a little awkward in front of the camera or you've never tried to do a lip syncing video, but you have always thought that they've been fun, or a transition. You just have no idea how to execute that and then edit that. I guide you through that. So, yeah,
I love that. This is so cool, and this is all stuff that you do on your phone, and then you deliver
yes.
it to them, and they just have it on their phone, and, like, they have access to all these video clips, the highlight reel, all the things forever on their phone. I think it's so great, and so it's instant gratification, just like you said. You get everything right away, and, like, I wouldn't personally be as interested in the trends and stuff, but I know so many people, even on our elopement days, where they're like, "Oh, I gotta finish my TikTok trend that I started," or something
Right.
like that, like, people are into that stuff. So, why would you say that couples need to add content creation to their elopement day?
Yeah, well, I definitely think, especially because it's such a new service, people love immediately sharing their big life moments on social media or with their friends and family right away. And I feel as a content creator and just using my phone, it does allow me. So many people are used to filming themselves or filming their friends or what they're eating at a restaurant or whatnot with their phone. We always have our phones in our pockets, in our hands. It's a very normal, it's not intimidating or as overwhelming or as awkward feeling as maybe a big camera with a big lens or a videographer with all of this equipment in your face. I do think that it allows me to just be able to blend in more and kind of be in the background, which also allows me to capture raw emotions and those like authentic moments and the genuine reactions and just capture more behind the scenes things that people might not even know are happening around them because I'm just blending in the background with a phone, always recording you.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. That's so cool. So let's talk about how business is going. So how are you killing it in business right now? Tell me all the good that's going on in your business right now.
Yeah, so since I had started working with one elopement photographer in the beginning, Lauren Reeves Photography, and since other photographers have seen the behind the scenes reels and the video content that I'm providing her, they are also wanting content similar to promote their business with. So I feel working alongside photographers. I was also a photographer for a long time. I dabbled in videography as well with a mirrorless Sony, so I feel I can understand not to be in their shot. I'm not getting in the way, certain lighting that they might be looking for, certain if my shadow is in their shot, if they're, doing a flat lay and I'm standing behind them also trying to get a video of that flat lay. I'm very observant
Mhm.
in where I am compared to everyone else on the media team. And I feel like that is definitely a pro, is just knowing to not be in the way and things like that. And also, yeah, just being able to work alongside many photographers now in the elopement space and provide not only the couple with elopement content creation services, but also the vendors that might be there and the other photographers that might be there. I'm very good at, even if they don't ask for it,
Yeah.
I get the behind the scenes of everyone and it winds up being a benefit to all involved because they might not have the time to get a quick behind the scenes video of them photographing or things like that.
Oh, totally. I mean, Todd and I, when we were shooting elopement days, we never remember to take behind the scenes of us doing cool stuff, and it would be so nice to have that footage, when we need to create quick content and to show what it's like to work with us. Like it's just hard to multitask like that. So, yeah, I could see how having you there kind of in the background, knowing how to work with photographers and getting all the important behind the scenes videos of the couple of the vendors, like that's just amazing. So let's talk about what you want to do next. So what are you looking forward to when you're growing your
Yeah.
business?
So I am just about to launch a website and I will be able to offer my elopement content creation services not solely only through local Smoky Mountain elopement photographers, but to any couple around the US or even worldwide. And I will be able to be added on to their media team. And it doesn't need to, again, be local. So I'm very excited to launch this website and see where it goes.
Yeah.
And then also I would love I'm a huge traveler. I have worked and lived in Alaska. That is
Mm.
one dream destination. Anywhere really, the West Coast and Alaska. And also as well as some places abroad. That I would just love my next steps to, well, my next steps would be really become an expert on my local location and then expand and start offering elopement content creation services across the board.
I love that. And so let's kind of switch into like coaching mode and talk about that because, first of all, you're so smart because you're focusing on one location at a time. And a lot of people skip that part of the strategy. Like
Right.
you really do want to get really good and be booking things consistently in one location before you can be like, oh, yeah, I serve everywhere because that just falls flat for photographers and couples and stuff like that. When you're like, I travel everywhere and I do everything everywhere, like it just
Right.
doesn't attract the right people. So right now you're doing the perfect thing. You're getting your website dialed in and you're working with local photographers to like really kill it and make an income where you live. So that's perfect. So that's to affirm that you're doing the right move there. Yeah. And then the next step is, yeah, to pick some place like Alaska and you feel pulled there. Like you said, did you say you live
Yes.
there? Like
Yes,
you live there?
briefly. Yes. One of my wildlife positions was in the Arctic and it also allowed me to travel around Southeast Alaska. It's one of my favorite places. It's just jaw-dropping landscape and the wildlife viewing opportunities are insane.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Alaska is amazing. Todd and I eloped in Alaska. Glaciers, mountains, bears, salmon,
Exactly.
all the things. Helicopters. Yeah, we took a helicopter. You could take a helicopter on an elopement,
Yep.
take content. So let's talk about how you start getting booked in destinations like that. And it is a good idea for your next destination to always be something that you're targeting specifically. So for elopement photographers, a lot of times that means going out, traveling there on your own, getting some photos there if you don't have photos already, and then creating this, marketing strategy that involves Google Ads, SEO, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, all that kind of stuff. But content creators, as well as videographers, are a little different because everybody who is eloping and investing in the experience is getting a photographer, but sometimes they have to be sold on the experience of having a content creator or a videographer. They might not necessarily be sold on that. So a lot of the content and blogs and stuff like that that content creators and videographers need to work on is like the why behind why you need this service, right? And
Yeah.
so we kind of covered that instant gratification, 1,000 freaking clips of raw footage from your elopement day delivered to your phone in like a day, a highlight reel, all that kind of stuff. So, like, really not only educating couples on how important and cool that is, but then also showing examples and showing social proof from happy couples can like really make that be like, oh, wow, yeah, I do actually want this. I didn't know I wanted it before,
Right.
but now I do. So that kind of stuff. And then just like how you befriended all of these photographers in Tennessee and they know the benefit for themselves and their couples, then reaching out to Alaska elopement photographers and singing the praises of content creation and that, you're familiar with Alaska, you've been there, you're willing to travel there and like please tell your couples that this is something that I offer and that could be amazing for them. So, have you thought about that reaching out to Alaska elopement photographers?
Yes, I actually just joined a few days ago a bunch of Facebook groups that specialize. They're targeted for Alaska elopements, people getting married or eloping in Alaska, Alaska elopement photography groups, just
Amazing.
to get a base, just to start recognizing names that keep popping up and businesses or photographers that I might want to be reaching out to whose work I love and they seem to be doing it often and are really experienced and knowledgeable about the area and just get my feet wet there.
Yeah, totally. That's so perfect. You're doing all the right things, which is amazing.
Okay, good.
Yeah. But then the next part of the puzzle is trying to figure out, okay, why would somebody fly you out to Alaska to do their content creation? Is there somebody local that could do it? Yes. So now we got to start figuring out why you, Joy. Why are you the one to do this couple's content creation? And a lot of times that comes down to not only your offering as far as like your packages and the products that you create, but your personality is a big reason why people will fly out elopement photographers to locations where there are perfectly good locals that they could also hire. So that's a big piece of the puzzle that a lot of people, not that they're afraid to show their personalities, like there's a lot of reasons why that can be the hardest part of all of this.
Yes.
Yeah. But like for me, when I quit being a veterinarian and switched into elopement photography, I was like, who even am I? Like I've been a professional for years. I've suppressed my personality. Like, who am I as a person? But you already at the beginning of this listed so many values that people can relate to. Not only like moving from place to place, but like biology. I also have a biology degree.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the best. We're not exactly using it, but that's okay.
I will basically be your naturalist as well as your content creator, as well as knowing all of the best local coffee shops to go to the next day.
Yeah. I mean, that's literally it. I would absolutely like Like when Todd and I were planning our elopement in Alaska, we flew in a videographer and a photographer based on their art, but also their vibes. Because we were like, we want to have fun today. It's literally just going to be the two of us and a photographer and a videographer. So, like, who is going to bring the vibes? Who's going to have fun with us? Who can we spend all day with? Who are we going to ride helicopters with? Who are we going to walk around glaciers with? And like the cost was not an issue for us. It was literally like we have to hire people based on vibes, whatever it costs, it costs. And so that's really where you can shine, Joy, because I'm already seeing so much of your personality and values just on this call that you could definitely like double down on all of that stuff, especially on your website and your own content, on Instagram and TikTok, and really help people fall in love with you so that it's like a no brainer for them to have you go out to Alaska, you know?
I love and fully agree with your sentiment of hiring your team who's going to be around you based solely off of vibes. I don't know if
Hmm.
you've ever traveled and spent the entire day, especially on an adventure, a hike, doing the helicopters and the hikes to the scenic viewpoints and all the things. If you've ever done that with someone and spent the whole day traveling with them who you just don't vibe with,
Yeah.
maybe they are really like a panicky person if there's a trail that's closed and they don't have a backup plan, or they kind of are anxious. For me, it's things like that. Somebody
Yeah.
who has a negative attitude, who is just not the person you want to be spending your entire day with. Sure, they might be local, but are they going to calm you down when you're stressed? Are they going to make you laugh when you have no idea what to do in front of the camera? Or if something doesn't work out the way, as often it happens when you're traveling or adventuring, if something doesn't work out how you think, that trail being closed or anything like that, are they going to be flexible, adaptable, calm your nerves, divert the situation, and keep it fun and keep it lighthearted? So
Yeah.
I love that you said that because I do fully agree, and I tend to make business decisions in the same way with who I'm working with and networking with. Is who are they as a person? Getting a sense of who they are, not just from a business standpoint, but again, like you said, can I hang out with this person all day and still have fun and love it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Can we like have deep conversations? Like, can
Exactly.
we share a beer together or a cup of
Yes.
coffee? Yeah. If something happens, can we all laugh it off, or is somebody going to get really uptight? Traveling and adventuring is something where you really do have to consider who your company is.
Agreed.
Yeah. Yeah, eloping is traveling and adventuring. So yeah, I think that being able to learn about somebody ahead of time and not just fall in love with the fact that they're a content creator, but also with their personality and want them to be there on your day is huge. And I think you have the added bonus too, Joy, that when you are reaching out to photographers and vendors and stuff like that to network and get them excited about your services, you're there for the couple like 90%, right? But then you can also be like, I'm also getting you very valuable content as a photographer
Yes.
as well. So, like, what photographer is going to be like, no, I don't want to work with a content creator? Like, they're absolutely going to want to work with a content creator. It like benefits everyone.
Right. And every photographer that I do work with, it depends on the hours of coverage that I'm with them, on the amount of reels that I give them, but it is complimentary reels that they are receiving
Oh,
for
dang.
the benefit of, promoting me to their couples or working alongside me and having their couples add me on as a vendor. They're getting complimentary reels and marketing material.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, I mean, it's a no-brainer. It benefits everybody. Cool. So if there's any Alaska elopement photographers out there
Please.
that are listening, I know there are some that listen to this podcast. Definitely start telling your couples about Joy so she can come out and hang out with you guys and provide an amazing experience and service for your couples and for you guys. So, where can people find you on social media, Joy?
Yeah, so I am on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, all Create Joy Media. It's my business name. I'm about to start a website, so coming soon, TBD.
Mhm.
For now, there is a link in my bio across all social media. Oh, as well as YouTube Shorts. a link in my bio to my Pixie set booking site. So you can still book me currently until I get that website up.
Love it. Cool. And then do you have any other questions for me or anything else that you wanted to talk about?
No, I just wanted to say thank you. I had
Yeah.
a blast attending Elopement Con. I went
Oh,
last year
good.
as well. And it just, yeah, I'm shocked that I won. And I just think this is so beneficial and to keep a conversation going about elopement content creation and what we're there to do and how we help the couple and the photographers. So just thank you for inviting me on and hosting and everything.
Yeah, I loved having you on. This was so great. And I'm going to start adding to my little questionnaire I send all my elopement couples, like for vendors that they need to book. I'm going to put a little content creator recommendation in there so that they can start thinking about it too, because this is definitely something I'm hearing more and more about. More people are hiring content creators, more people are becoming content creators. So I love it. Thank you so much for being on the podcast, Joy. It was really
Thank
fun.
you for having me.
Yay. And we will see you next week. Thanks so much for joining us on this week's episode of Stoked. If you enjoyed the show and you'd like to help support the podcast, please subscribe, leave a review, and tell a friend. If you're looking for more inspiring elopement photography content, check us out on Instagram at Megan McPhail. And if you'd like to hear more about my business coaching and how I can personally help you hit six figures as an elopement photographer, then check out my website at www.meganmcphail.com.